I wanted to appeal to Cali. I wanted to take a funk joint and just take it and totally turn it around. I was trying to think. I said to myself, what's one of the most important records out there? Matter of fact, I did my own research and I asked my man from out here. He just happened to be my manager at the time. I said, yo, what is that record, man? They get the house party, whatever. And he told me straight up, he was like, man, Mo Bounce. I said, all right. I was like, we'll take a stab at that. But then I thought about it, I was like, dang, 1,000 people use that. Now I'm having conversations with myself. So what you gonna do with that? 1,000 people used it. Then I said back to the other me, I said, yeah, but we're gonna flip it like nobody ever used it. And I chopped that record up in so many pieces so that I could have the access to play with the song. Anything I wanted to do with it, even pitch wise, I would be able to adjust it and fix it. For instance, when you played the original, I'm listening, I'm like, dang, they didn't change all the way through the song. The bass is boom, 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 boom. I made it go boom, 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 boom. People was like, yo, what you had to master or something? I was determined to do things with that record that nobody else had ever done. They probably never ever chopped it up that way or had that much access to. Nowadays, we call it stems. That's having access to
Hmm.
all of the tracks
Hmm.
to a master. But the way I chopped it up is like I gave myself my own access, took it and started playing with it and made the song do the bass line the way I wanted it to do. But at the same time, having the drums traveling at the same kind of pace, which was, but the bass line going different. Then I'm adding all of these other things around it. Again, those spacey
The
futuristic
futuristic. Yeah,
sounds.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. I
yeah.
was always trying to, you know, that's because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to distract you from the regular same old. The regular same old is what? We're going to sample some, whether it's a drum loop, kick a snare, whatever you got going on. You listen to it, you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, it's hip hop. No, this is futuristic. Like crazy. It's just trying to distract you, give you something else, something, a different way to hear it. You know, that's it.
Sorry, you said that you wanted to appeal to Kelly, so I'm guessing you mean in the context of the beef that was going on, you wanted to like make like a truce with that with this song. Is that what you mean?
That's what I was attempting to do musically.
Right.
Nothing I ever made a phone call with, went to go see somebody and like, yo, can we
Mm.
see? People don't understand music. Music is music brings people together.
Hmm. So,
Music brings people together. I ain't talking about the lyrics in a song or whatever. A good beat, good music, the whole world will unionize and be grooving to that. And I felt like if it's the least I could do musically, get everybody on the same accord, everybody like, then that was good enough for me.
Did you? Sorry, go ahead.
Now, I just wanted to make sure that he didn't say no kind of diss lyrics or nothing like that on top. And even though I wasn't there in the studio, one of Junior Mafia, um, Blake C, that's his name. I ran into him and he had told me, he said, no, he ain't. He said, you heard your joint? I said, no, he ain't dissing or nothing like that. Matter of fact, he big in Cali. And I was like, oh, because I didn't want to be dragged into all of that. I didn't want to be dragged into all of that. You know? So I know New York and Cali both loved more bounce equally. So it worked, not just there, but even down south. The southern region, Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, when I was a kid, 12, 13 years old, my cousins used to be rocking out Parliament. So I knew about that. So I'm like, yeah, get everybody bouncing, get everybody on one accord.
Did you ever convey that to Biggie? Like, as in, like, you say to him, "This is my vision for the song," or you just made the beat and then he just coincidentally he saw what not coincidentally, but somehow saw what you wanted to do and was like, you know what, I'm going to create it.
Nope,
No,
not a conversation that I had with Big, not a conversation I had with Puff. Kept it to myself. I was just like, I'm gonna let the music speak.
and it did, because he ended up doing a song that was appealing to Cali. Like, I've got love for Cali. Like, I'm going back to Cali.
So I'm gonna let the music speak for itself. Let that music talk.
Yeah. And then I just want to talk about Zap real quick, right? The way you chopped it. Did you ever speak to any of the members of Zap? And did you ever get to hear how they felt about how you chopped their song?
Remember earlier I told you, again, I'm gonna shout him out. Peace to Rufus Black back then in the early, what was it? It wasn't even mid 2000 yet. When did Roger die?
I couldn't tell you.
I want to say like 95, if I'm not mistaken.
98.
Yeah, I was about to say 98 or 99. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that early?
Yeah.
Wow, because Rufus Black, shout out to Rufus Black. He called me up and he had Roger on the phone on the three-way with him. He said, Mo B, what's up, man? I got somebody want to kick it with you. I said, what up, Roof? Who? He said, yo, I got what you call him, Roger Troutman on the phone. I said, yo, get out of here. So we start talking and he gave the approval. He gave the nod. He said, man, a lot of people use my record, man. He said, but man, you put something on that. He said, you chopped that up, worked that like no other. And it made me feel good to hear, him give the approval, because, we always wonder when you sample somebody's record, how do they feel about it? And matter of fact, in that conversation, he said, matter of fact, yo, this is crazy because this never got a chance to happen. He said, matter of fact, I got an idea. Somehow I would love to do with you. He said, I got an idea to, he said, you remember Oh Happy Day? Edwin Hawkins? I was like, yeah, I got that record. So my father used to play that. Yeah, I remember that. He said, I would love to do like a inspirational / gospel like version of that. He wanted to rework Oh Happy Day by Edwin Hawkins singers. Just by me saying this here, I think I'm giving a whole lot of people ideas to do it. But that's what he wanted to do. He said, I would love to work on that, do that. Which he said, you be down to work with? I was like, yeah. And then sometime after that, and that's when that happened with him and his brother Larry. Yeah.
That's wild.
Rest in peace, Roger and Larry Troutman.
For sure. Rest in peace to both of them.
Salute to Zap Band.
Yeah, shout out to that, man. Another question I have is I forget the technical term, the voice. Do you know the robot voice that they did on the song? Who's doing that?
That's what you call a vocoder or talk box.
Yeah, talk box, that's the one.
It's a couple of ways that is done. You got the one, I think the vocoder is I'm not sure. I want to make sure that I'm saying this right. There's the ones with the gooseneck or microphone that you speak into, and they play with the keys along with it at the same time. Then there's the one with the tube that they're putting it over between their teeth, and they breathe into it. Roger, Teddy Riley, T-Pain, they all do that one. The one with the tube in the mouth. Mm-hmm. Originally, they call it the talk box, but it's called a vocoder. Yeah.
So who was using the vocoder on this song? That's why I'm asking.
Oh, T-Pain. Somebody in the comments said T-Pain don't use the tube.
No, he uses auto tune.
Okay, all right.
Auto-tune.
Yeah, they're similar. They all in the same family.
Auto-tune corrects your notes, whereas talkbox is you're not singing anything at all. You're just singing. It's all keyboarding. You're putting the tube in your mouth to shape the words.
So who's using the instrument on this song? Who's using the vocoder or the talkbox on this song?
I have no. I can't say whether it was the one with the tube or if it's auto tune or the one you speak into the mic. I can't say because I wasn't there. I ain't get a chance to see that.
No, I don't. I'm not asking what equipment. Whichever equipment it was, who was talking into it? That's what I'm trying to establish.
I don't know. I do know one thing though. California Love, Tupac, that's official. Roger did that one too.
Right. Because the reason why I asked, because I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true, I read that it was Stevie J that was doing the voice on this song.
I don't.
Okay, all right, okay, that's interesting. Okay. And then this is the last question I have in relation, like to this song, right? Because now people speculate and say if Big didn't go to Cali, you'll still be alive, right? And bearing in mind, this song is called "Going Back to Cali." When you listen to it after the fact, years later, I'm just curious, like, in light of what happened, does it when you listen to it now, does it make you feel a certain way, or?
I've gotten past it, but at times I'm reminded about it. Yo, we just got to move on, man. We do. We just got to move on. Because I'll give you another perfect example. My father just passed away 2021.
So I feel this.
And he's the reason why I make beats and producing and all of that. Matter of fact, even before that, DJ, he injected the original love of the music for me. Now, Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, Al Green, Sam and Dave, Johnny Taylor, Betty Wright. We could go on and on. The same way how we got to move on and keep listening to Going Back to Cali and just mentally just move on is the same way how, yo, let me tell you, man, there's records that my father used to play in that living room that I grew up in the projects. I play them same records to this day. Matter of fact, there's a lot of them I have avoided because I get emotional, man. You know what I'm saying? I start
I can
thinking
imagine.
everything. Yo, for real. It's serious like that. So I'm saying mentally, and as time goes on, it gets a little easier. You know what I mean? For you to get past and do that. But like, yeah, you can't help but be reminded of it. But mentally and emotionally, you gotta move on, dude. You got to.
For sure. For sure.
You play like Sam Cooke. A change gonna come around me, boy. Man, I start thinking about my father. There's a whole lot more of them too, man. Just stuff that he used to play. So that just shows you the impact, man. The power that music can have on people, man. That's why I was trying to do that, man, with the more bounce, man. Just trying to touch people in my own way I wanted to say without even coming out and saying like, yo, come on, man, stop all this bullshit, man. Come on, man. Let's get on love, man. Come on, man. You know? And musically, forget about the lyrical layer on top. Although I was concerned with that, musically, I just wanted everybody to be like, and it happened, you know? So music is strong, man. It's a tool, man.
It really is. Like I always say, sorry, go ahead.
It can be healthy and helpful, yet at the same time, it can be dangerous, man. Gotta be careful with music, man. It's a tool.
For real.
It's a tool.
Like I've said to people on this call before, like, is this the weird thing about music? It's like a time machine. Like any song that I've heard before, if it gets played, it automatically takes me back to the time of what was going on when I first heard it. And like I could tell you the year of any song that, provided I know the song, I could tell you the year it came out. I could tell you what I was doing like that, and that it can remind you of like nice moments, but it can also remind you of things you just don't want to think about, you know. So I definitely understand. I think we all, because we all appreciate music here, so I think we all understand what you just said there. But
yeah, you're right, because I pulled it out earlier, but I'm gonna pull it out again. When I hear this, I pulled it out before. I'll pull it out again. You hear that? See that?
Yeah, Mariah's, yeah.
This particular record, when I hear that record, I'm reminded summer '77. My mother and father was back in the room. They was on the bed. It was hot that night. They was on the bed, and you know they didn't like loud radio, loud music, stuff like that. We had a transistor radio on the counter in the kitchen, and I was leaning there, just playing it real low, leaning there. I'm a little kid, a little boy, listening to the radio. Then the record said, "Zoo, zoo," and all the lights went out. I'm talking about the blackout, the summer of '77. When I hear that record, I remember it clear as day. And then, just as an example, because you said, you know, music places you at a certain time in memory, you remember where you was at when certain things happen.
No, for sure. I'm just curious, has anyone got an example that they'd like to share with us? Like a particular song that takes you to a particular memory that...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
mean, hey, like if I died tonight from you, like every time I used to listen to that song. So, you know what I mean? It always takes me back whenever I first heard, you know what I mean, Me Against the World. Whenever my brother first bought it on cassette tape for him to DJ. So that's something always been, you know what I mean? I mean, it's always going to bring you back to, you know what I mean, when you first started, you know what I mean, just wanted to just love stuff like that. And it takes you back to that moment, you know, when you hear that song. So
no, for sure, man. Cam, do you want to say something, Cam?
I had a previous question, but I do have an example. It was. I was going to say "Ready to Die." Yeah, it definitely took me back to high school. I actually heard it when I was in high school for the first time, which is crazy. Like 2017. So yeah, that's hearing it then versus everybody hearing it when it was initially releases. Probably very different, but just my reaction to it was crazy.
So the funny thing, right, about the Ready to Die album, I heard all the singles first, obviously, right, because it's on TV, it's on radio, like Juicy, Big Papa, all of that. That's stuff that everyone's heard. Then in 2015, I purchased the Ready to Die album. This is when nobody was buying CDs. I bought the CD. I had a very old car at the time that had CD player. I used to play that CD every day I went to work for like a year. So whenever I hear a song from the Ready to Die album, it takes me back to, this was 2015. I was living in Manchester, which is like northwest England. So it just takes me, as I'm playing these songs, it's just taking me back to Manchester. And that year was a tough year for me. So yeah, man. But anyway, we're gonna go to the last song. This is the last song of the night. I'm not going to play the sample because I played the sample already. In fact, I'll play the sample again, actually. That'll be more interesting. Our special guest has used the sample more than once. So I'm play it. Let me try and find it somewhere here.